a video on roasting a chicken with some flavoured butter, and I flavoured the butter with a chicken stock cube. So it's kind of got all that chickeny, salty, umami kind of flavours in the butter, which will then transfer into the chicken, hopefully. Hopefully, that's what I'm kind of thinking anyway. So I faffed around with making a butter using some chicken stock cube, and it was very nice. It's salty kind of type of thing. So there's 100 grams worth of butter in there, and then one chicken stock cube. So there were 10 grams. No, yeah, 10 grams. So it's nicely salty, chickeny, umami kind of flavour to it. Just melt the butter slightly in the microwave and the chicken stock cube in the microwave slightly as well, just so it combines a little bit easier. And then we're gonna, using my blunt knife, we're just gonna smear it underneath the breasts of this chicken before we roast it, and we're gonna see what happens. And then I think it will, let's get rid of that, and I think it'll add a really nice flavour to it. So we'll take the wishbone out, and then, which is just in there, it'll just make it easier to carve. And then I think as well, we'll rest the chicken on a bit of sourdough as well, so it'll soak up the flavours of the chicken, and the butter will soak into the bit of bread, and then we'll have a bit of extra kind of flavour going on. I'm making a bit of a mess of this. I don't prep chickens much. I used to do, but not so much anymore. So just pull the chicken bone out. That can go in the roasting pan. That can go in the roasting pan at the bottom, and then if we go in from the front, I think we'll split the skin. So we need to go in from the back here and just tease it. See, I've split the skin already. Tease it open there, and then we'll get some of that butter underneath. So now we're going to do this. How much butter we're going to use, because I'm touching things with chickeny fingers now, aren't I? It'll be fine, it'll be fine. And just put chickeny stocky butter underneath the skin, and then, oh yeah. So yeah, well, let's we've done the butter. Well, it's going to be a mess anyway, isn't it? So we might as well just use it all. Since I've got all the chicken over onto that bowl, we can't have having raw chicken on things, so we might as well use all the butter, which is probably too much butter, but not to worry. Not to worry. And then and then I was gonna think by the time the legs are cooked, the breast is overcooked with the chicken, so we'll just put some slices of the chicken legs, just to kind of speed up their cooking process. So that, I mean, it's just going to melt and it'll just go into the chicken cavity, but I think the saltiness will be left in there. Could we have got some on these legs? No, but let's just put a slice there and there. Can we get some? Where's this some butter? That slice. We'll put some in those slices as well. And I'm not going to season the rest of it. I'm not going to put any, or am I going to put some salt on? So that's there. Let's wipe my hands all over it, and then onto a roasted dish, and then we'll roast that and we'll see how it turns out. I think that will be delicious with the chicken stock cube. Now, I've seen it where someone took the stock cube and mixed it with a little bit of oil and then pasted it onto the outside of the chicken, but that's only really going to be flavouring the skin, isn't it? Which is not what we want. We want to flavour the meat, even though we're going to eat the skin as well, but we want to flavour the meat, so slight split in that, but that'll be fine. So we'll roast that. I'll wash my hands and we'll see what it's like. How long did it say it needed? Like an hour and 40, something like that. I was tempted to put it in the oven before I go swimming, but if anything happens, but like if I get way late at swimming, it'll be overcooked by the time I get home. So I think we'll put it in the oven when I come home and see what it's, and then cook it that way, and then there's no danger of me overcooking it. Not going to tie it up, probably. No, that'll be fine. That's what we'll do. I'm just about to put this in the oven, and I was thinking, why do we roast chickens whole? If the breasts are going to cook quicker than the legs, surely we should just cook the legs off the chicken and roast them separately, so we can take out the breasts first and leave the legs in a little bit longer to cook. So cut down the side of there like that, and do that, and then we can take the breasts out first and then leave the legs in to cook for longer, can't we? So could even, yeah, that'd be better. Yeah, we'll do it that way, and then we can take the breasts out after. I reckon they'll be done in an hour. It says gas by 170 or 180 for an hour and 40 minutes. I don't think that's going to take an hour and 40 minutes. I think the legs will take an hour and 40 minutes. I think the breasts will take an hour. Thinking about it. Yes, so we'll do that. We'll roast that in the oven, and we'll see how it turns out doing it that way. An hour and 10 minutes, and that looks ready to me. We've got a temperature probe, although I'm not going to probe it, I'm just going to stick it in and see how hot it is by touching it. Yeah, that's hot all the way through. So, legs are ready as well, but the legs are probably ready because they've been in contact with the bottom of the tray. So, let's rest that bit of chicken on those bits of sourdough. Yeah, the juices are already going in. So those bits of sourdough are going to collect the juices that drip out of the chicken. Don't need to rest the legs as much because they're cooked all the way through. Cooked all the way through and tender. But we will. We've got all that lovely juice in the bottom of there, which really, that's what we should have fried the bread in. That would have been delicious, wouldn't it? But anyway, so we'll rest those on there. We'll put a little bit of foil on the top of it. We'll give it 10 minutes. That's not big enough. Bigger bit of foil. That's not a bigger bit of foil. No, that's too big. Bit of foil over the top just to keep it warm while it's resting. We don't really rest in the chicken breasts. The legs don't need any resting because they've cooked all the way through. But how is that's the part of his nose? Is that? That's that bit of chicken at the bottom. That's going to be delicious. Right, it's had 10 minutes. Let's have a look. So, we need to get a taste, don't we? Looks nice and juicy. That's delicious. That's delicious. So, and I don't just think it's because of the butter, or the butter makes most things taste better. It's certainly that chicken stock cube. It's a really good seasoning, and it's right next to the breast as well. So that's delicious. Let's just, yeah, see, that's better, isn't it? That's so all the fat and juice from the chicken's gone into the fried bit of sourdough. Which has made that even more delicious. Same with the legs as well. So I certainly think cutting the legs off, they want me to call it the chicken works. But it would have been, it cooked quicker because of it had contact with the bottom of the pan, so it's not really roasted. It's like fried in the oven. But if I was to properly roast them, I can turn them up that way in the oven, and hour and 10 minutes for the breasts, and then maybe another 20 minutes for legs, because you want the legs nice and cooked all the way through and nice and tender. You just need a little bit more cooking. But there we go. That chicken stock flavoured butter is a winner, isn't it? Oh, knocking things over. Yeah, so that is a success. Was that everything I wanted to do? I aimed for. Yeah, so yeah, I wanted to do the rest of the chicken on some fried sourdough again, and did the chicken stock cube butter for the cooking the chicken. But there we go. Yeah, that's a success. But it would work with an anchovy butter just the same. But anyway, there we go. Success, and it'll be delicious.